And really, he looks quite goodly. I mean, there's a few little things here and there, so we're going to watch him now from the side. And from the side, you can see that he tends to want to step a little long with that right hind. So it's more like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Do you feel that? Instead of a 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Do you see how the tempo is different? You got a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you feel that? So the right hind is stepping longer than the left hind. So what that does is that gets those hindquarters a little unstable. So it's more like you always walking with one foot ahead of the other foot. So I'm never going to really feel stable, okay? Because they never reach the same point. So what we do with human athletes, and it's not quite this bad with humans, but it will be sometimes a half an inch different in elite performance athletes. And what we used to try to do long ago is lengthen out the short limb, and that didn't work. It actually caused injury. So in the running biomechanics, what we learned through trial and error is that we were better off to shorten the long limb, okay? And what that did then is it allowed the athlete to have stability during the running stride. And then once they had stability and they regained their symmetry, then we started to ask them to lengthen their stride if it was appropriate for the sport. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yep.
So that's why I want you to not be confused as I ask you to try to shorten his right hind a little bit to see if we can get him a bit more symmetrical. I'm not going to ask you to lengthen his left hind. I'm going to ask you to shorten his right hind. Okay? And you'll be able to see this on the video, the distinct differences. But you said you also felt it, which is really quite good. That's right. And doesn't it feel a little more jerky on the left side? Feel a little more jerk when it lands? Jerk, jerk. And it's a little smoother on the right, doesn't it? Yeah. So, and that's the other thing that confuses people is they feel the jerk on the left, so they think that they should be fixing the left hind, when in reality, it's not gonna happen. The horse is going to give you a lot of resistance to try and send that left hind forward. And actually what happens is the hind legs get further and further apart. They get actually worse. Because the reason he's not wanting to swing that left hind through his entire swing phase is because he's not stable on his right hind. See, the only way I can swing longer with my left leg is when I have good stability on my right. If I'm on my tiptoe on the right, then I'm going to swing shorter because I can't keep it off the ground that long before I lose my balance off the right.
And before I got him, and I'm not sure when it was.
Let's keep tracking. I'm sorry. I know you want to change directions, but that's the problem with this is that we're so inappropriate by staying in the same direction for too long that we're just going to do it.
I had suspected that he had some issues with his right stifle because when I'm riding him, mainly on the trail, when we're not collected, I would feel it drop.
Yeah.
And just sort of, yeah, you look, there's no split mark and there's no rock, and, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, it feels like the stifle.
Yeah. Yeah, and when they're long like that, it is, you've got a lot less stability, and you look at me, okay? So he's going to have a lot less weight there, and then there's more chance that he could slip on that leg because he's not weight bearing on it, and coiling on it. And a human athlete is called the coil. They coil, like for a long jumper, they run up, they coil, and then they jump.
Yeah.
And without the coil, they won't have a good jump. So he doesn't have a very good
So
coil
his
on his
foot
right
might
arm.
actually be slipping forward.
That's right.
Okay. And that's, it feels to me like his right hip drops out from underneath.
That's correct. So let's try, have you ever done something called a half halt? Where you kind of tighten up your butt muscles and then kind of just not pull back, but just keep the rein contact the same?
was doing.
Okay.
But does that do it?
That was really good.
See, he just sort of had a.
He started to feel more balanced, didn't he?
Well, right there he had a little catch because you turned loose of that right glute.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So just the right. So
His right foot coming forward.
well, don't even worry about it.
Keep it tight and just hold your rein.
Yeah. Don't even worry about the time. Yeah. Just that right. Don't let your left side tighten up. So split yourself in half. Don't lean left. Look at where your nose is. Keep your nose right over his mane.
Wants to take advantage of that.
Yeah, but step to the right. You're leaning left. So the reason he wants to come in is because he's trying to get under your weight. So you stay, look between his ears. Look a little right, actually. There you go. Look out the arena. There you go. And try to position your saddle where you want your horse. He's throwing your hips to the left. Now, see, you're too far left. Look to the right. And one of the reasons I think he might be overweighting that